Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I am working on pages 2 and 3 in my Collections of Curiosities book for October. And I thought it would be kind of fun to do a poem, trying to think of things magical or mystical, and I know the palm is a symbol in a lot of different areas, so I thought it would be fun to add that. Trying to draw it, I traced it and then I'm trying to draw it so that I can cut it out. And I'm actually, probably wasn't the best idea, but I didn't want white, so I'm using my coffee stained paper. And yeah, we're gonna glue it down on there. And I don't want to lose the little runes that I have at the bottom, the stenciling that I did before, so I took the bottom part of my hand off, the little arm piece. Oh, and I have these circles that were from a gel print. I had cut them out and figured they'd make an interesting border. So I'm going to glue those on the corners. I didn't want all the orange, so I'm tearing that off. It can be jagged. It's going to go up against the burnt edge, so... And in fact, I am gluing them square to the page and overlapping that burnt edge. I figured that might actually reinforce that area. So I wouldn't recommend burning your pages. Do a faux thing or something fake, because the edges keep breaking. Like, it was an old book anyway, and the pages are really brittle. I keep brushing ash off pages. Maybe eventually it will stop, but yeah. So I figured putting these on the corners of this particular page couldn't hurt, right? It will be a reinforcement. And I'm inking around the edges just because I want it kind of dark. I'm not sure if it's all that noticeable, the inking, but I think I need a new re-inker for my archival brown because I use it all the time and I feel like it's not very juicy. But when I'm doing it on white, it's very noticeable, so maybe it's there, I just can't tell. Alright, so I'm just using some glue. I think I'm using glitter glue, I can't tell. Oh, it's the Barely Art glitter glue. Not glitter glue, sorry, but Barely Art glue. It stays wet a little longer than the glitter glue, so I use it for some things. I saw somebody using it and I wanted to give it a try, so yeah, that's what I did. And I like it for some things, and I like glitter glue for others, so it works. The plan is to paint the back sides of those half circles so that they blend into the other page, if that makes sense. So like the page 1 that I did that has the crow on it has a lot of dark around the edges, so I'll paint the back side of these brown so they blend in, and I think it works pretty well. I don't show that part. Yeah, I do it later, I think. Sorry, I stopped talking. I was just thinking. What do I need to say next? How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Did anybody do an October project like Inktober, or I think there's even a witch one, Or is anybody from the Mixed Media Art and Artist Facebook group with PM Artist Studios, and did you do a grimoire or a collection of curiosities? I hope you're posting over in PM Artist Studios Facebook group so that we can all see your fun projects. Trying to get my fingers straight, and that is just cheap paper. So it does wrinkle a bit, but when it's dry, it's hardly noticeable. Trying to make sure I get enough on there. So I decided the edges around my circles weren't dark enough, and I figured I'd go with somewhat complementary of a color to just kind of darken the edges. I'm using a Faber-Castell brush pen. I like it because it's soft and they blend. And if you wipe too much, you'll just wipe it right off. So that's good in case you make a mistake. I have a few brush pens, like 2 or 3 brush pens, and a lot of their markers got on clearance. Hobby Lobby years ago, still have them. They still work. It's a little subtle, but you know, it's there. Alright, so the designs are just made up. Like, they don't have any particular meaning. They kind of look like jewelry, I think, a little bit. I'm trying to think of how do I want that? Where do I want that? But yeah, they're just made up in my head, so. And on the one finger, I've got that black streak that happened while I was gluing it down. Well, we'll just incorporate it. Just, you make a mistake, you just make it a part of it, right? And this is another Pitt Artist pen, this black one. I use it a lot too. I have no idea what I was thinking of there. It looks like stitches. Oh, and I decided to give it an eyeball. So I've been having fun working in this book. I hope you're liking the videos. If you've been watching, thank you. Let me know. I'll have a playlist. If you haven't seen any of the previous ones, I'll have a playlist in the description box below so you can see. Like, I've only done one other page inside, and then the creation of the cover and the creation of the pages and the signatures is what's there so far. Oh, and by now the video hop has happened, so that will be on the playlist too. My video from the video hop. I decided it needed an outline. I like to outline things, as you can tell. Like, I couldn't leave those circles alone. They weren't dark enough on the edges, but I don't think I go around them with the black. I refrain. Usually, when I do something like this, I usually slip and draw a line in the wrong place. But I think I made it through that one safely. Once I add the white, you can tell that wasn't white paper, huh? Oh, and I decided to take my gray and go around the edges. It actually ends up looking very smeary, I think. Not quite as good as I wanted it to look. I think because it's activating that black and getting too dark. There, I'm taking a little bit of a paper towel. I guess it looks a little bit more round, but very smudgy. Okay, so that is dry, and I decided to pull out my metallic watercolors and just enhance the different designs on there and really kind of make them look like jewelry a little bit, I think. The metallics I'm using, I got these on Amazon. They're called Tin Box, something like that. They're very thick metallic, and they don't stay wet long. Like, I'll get my brush wet, especially that gold one. I'll get my brush wet, get some on my brush, paint, then I'll go back to the palette and it's like stiff. I need to add a lot more water again. It's just very interesting. Trying to show trying to show you it's shiny. That's the problem with metallics. I want to keep going, keep adding some fun metallic color to things so I don't stop. Trying to touch up a few shapes. All right, so the other side, I decided to do a spiral. And I'm still using the coffee dyed paper. And I'm just going to cut out a spiral. I don't think you watched me do the whole thing. Probably just the first part, and then I just end up making it like a skinny noodle. Trying to work my way around. There, it's done. Just jump to the end. So this time I was thinking the best way to do it would be to use a glue stick. So I'm using a glue stick, but that's just making the spiral curl. So I'm not sure if that was better than slapping down some matte medium or not. Start with the center and work my way around. I have to patch up a few areas that got dry before I got them down. I think I still end up going over it with matte medium. Just because I like to have the paper sealed and I can mess with it with the markers and stuff. Yep, I do. I don't get too heavy. I just coat it so that it will take whatever I give to it, I guess. And of course that adds a few wrinkles, but it'll be okay. We'll just smush the wrinkles down and work with them. Alright, so it is dry. I'm going to outline it. Just because I like how that looks. And it'll go with the hand on the other side. And I penciled in some runes. And then when I got closer to the center, well, there's still runes. They're just a little harder to see. And figured I'd paint them all with my metallic paint. In the bronzy color. I think it's bronze gold. I'll just put some dots in the center. I felt like it needed some more, so I decided to come along with the black marker and kind of just put some lines and some marks in between each of the runes, just to make it more interesting. Oh, and I am going by, I've been trying to go by the Inktober prompts, and I bet you can't guess what prompt I used for these 2 pages. That's funny. But I'm just making lines, and then some of them I'm breaking up the lines with some pattern there. You won't be able to guess the prompt I used until the very end. And apparently I'm going to make you watch me put every line in between each of the runes, all the way into the center of that spiral. Yep, here we go. Spider is the prompt I went with. You know how hard it was to fussy cut that spider? And it's so creepy real, right? Like, ooh. Gotta get the Halloween theme going here, right? Got a little spooky, creepy, I don't know. But I just printed those off on copy paper and just on my inkjet printer. I don't have a laser printer. And each one of them is, I think each one of them is slightly different. There might be two that are the same, but I think each one is different. So do you like my pages? If you liked my pages, give them a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Love to hear your comments. Do you like the spiders? Just giving him a little bit of shading so it looks like he's walking on the hand. And then I think I have a couple of close-ups at the end. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.